Welcome back to Mindspace, friends. It's our CIBC Discipleship program where we are memorizing verses together as a church family. We are at the beginning of a month, and that means it's time for a new verse. And the verse I've picked for us this month comes, as always, out of one of the three categories: what God is like, what we are like, and practical things about what that means for our daily walk. And today, our verse kind of straddles two of those. It's about what God is like, and it's also about how we respond to what God is like, all in one package. And that verse is Proverbs 30, verse 5. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 5. This is the first verse that we have memorized out of the book of Proverbs, and I want to read it for you right now. It says, "Every word of God is flawless. He is a shield to those who take refuge in him." Every word of God is flawless. He is a shield to those who take refuge in him. Well, if you remember back, and this is now our 11th verse, I think, you will remember that we had another verse that's very similar to this one. That was Psalm 34:8. Do you remember that? We can actually review Psalm 34:8 and compare it to this one. See if you can recall. Psalm 34:8 said, "Taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in him." It's a very similar verse, teaches something slightly different, but they both have a tremendous amount of overlap between them. Two verses written at different times, perhaps in the history of Israel, in different books, but illustrating the kind of consistency of the experience of the people of Israel with God over the centuries. The word that comes forth from the Bible is consistent about who God is and what he is like. And so let's go over Proverbs 30, verse 5, very slowly one more time. Every word of God is flawless. He is a shield to those who take refuge in him. Well, I have a lot more to say about what this verse means and what it means that every word of God is flawless. We'll have to wait till next week, and I'll start unpacking some of my thoughts about this so that hopefully the background to what the verse means will help cement in your minds the actual words of this verse. All right, well, that's our verse for this month, and we're going to look forward to unpacking a lot more of it in the next few weeks. It's a very short verse, so take advantage of that, and you might take advantage of reviewing Psalm 34:8 as we just did. Two short verses that say very similar things. We'll see you next week.